Hey folks, this is Kelly at Piney Haven. We're in the pasture. We're going to finish this tour so I can see what all's going on back here. Claudia did a really good job when she come and bush hogged for me. I told her just to get where she knew she could get without causing herself or her machine any problems, because it's been a while since it'd been bush hogged really good. That clump right there has an old tree stump in it from an old pine tree, so all that's got to be cleared out. And those two big old pine trees right there need to be took down because they just aren't doing anything good. The cedar trees, I want to trim them up to where you can mow underneath them, but I'll leave them for right now. They don't drop as much mess on the ground to choke out the grass. Oh my mercy. Look at this fence line. It's also hard mowing right over there. All these trees and stuff has to be cut down. And that's is that the Bradford pear and all kinds of junk in there. What's on the other side of this fence is the lot to a rental trailer that the owners before me had, which I don't know if you see, there it is, you can see it through all that mess. The trailer's not fit to live in, and I don't even think it's fit to make livable. It's a big old mess. A lot of cleanup to be done in there, and if I had a good perimeter fence, which goes on the other side of this trailer, and get me some goats and turn them loose in there, and oh man, they would make my job a whole lot easier. A whole lot easier. Oh my mercy. What kind of bugs? What kind of bugs? Are those Japanese beetles up there all over that? Y'all will have to leave a comment and tell me. Let's see, can I get close enough? Can you see them? Am I jiggling too much? I'm having to stand here about on my tiptoes. More blackberries. All these trees right here is going to have to be cut down to clean up that fence line. And right here, right straight across, is back behind the house. You can see the chicken tractors. And I want my chickens to be able to be out here. This is where they need to be. The only trouble is I have all kinds of hogs, which is why I move them around in the tractors, because until recently, I never had any trouble with any predators until a raccoon come around a couple of nights and really cut me down on my hens, which I'm not happy about at all. They managed to get in under my big tractor. I had moved it, and there was a gap that I didn't see when I moved it because the grass was too high. Well, I paid for that mistake, because out of, how many Jersey giant hens did I have? 8? 7 maybe? Okay, now I have 3. There's the trailer right through there, the end of it. And that right there is like a little old pool house they had built on. There may be some really good lumber in that pool house, and also in that deck that connects them both. We'll do another tour here shortly that includes that. I'll try and get in there. The road getting in there is all growed up. We've got to get in there and get that cleaned out. Now you can see my pond through the trees. I actually have thought about maybe cleaning this trailer area up again and building me a tiny house just the way I want it, because from over here, I can see just about all my property. I'd have to take this big old pine tree out, but I already said the pine trees are going. But from right here, you can see every bit of the property. It's just a little over 4 acres. So it's not a lot. But that big pine tree, all those pine trees would come down. Those cedars would be taken out. And I would just have a little bit of yard area over here, which is fine with me. I want more gardening space, and I'm going to do them in raised beds. Most of it. I've got back issues, just about like most people have. So I'm looking towards the future on that. Oh, I'm missing all these blackberries. All these blackberries that's in this mess over here. There's another stand of them right there. I have to watch where I'm going right now because it's pretty steep right here, if you can tell. Pretty steep, so I'm walking easy. Don't want to fall. If I do, you'll see it. Try not to laugh. Well, if I'm okay, you can laugh because that's normal. Blackberries, all kinds of blackberries. Let's see. Where's the one? There, you can see the house through the jungle down there. You can also see where I've cleaned out there in the back. Up above, you can actually see all the way through there now. Some stuff on the outside of the fence I'm going to cut down. But it's getting better. Those monster trees have got to be taken care of, though. And if you can see it right there on that corner, is that huge elderberry bush tree thing. I'm loving it. Look at all the blooms. I should have got some of those blooms off before they turned. I wanted to because I wanted to make some tea with them. Okay. But yeah. And there's also a smaller one on over, if you can see it on up from it. Elderberries. Nature's medicine. I can get out here and get some of these blackberries for sure. That's good for blackberry tea. There's more blackberries. Got blackberries everywhere, everywhere. Let's get through this little old path right here. Man, they're laying on the ground. Laying on the ground. I'm walking through stickers, folks. Sorry, I don't mean to bobble. More blackberries up there. Oh man, look at all them. I've got to come back out here with a bucket. If anything, I can put them in the freezer. I love blackberries, and they are good for you. Now here we're coming around to the front. That's still just the other side of the fence post. Or the pasture fence line. My property goes on over, but you can't see it for all this mess. That's got to be cut down. Let's see. There you can see the pond through the gap right there. I have one little dogwood tree on this whole property, and it's right there in all that mess. So, I think it's in that one. Where'd it go? Okay, here we go again. Going out to the front now. I'll try and see if you can't see the front of this. All of these trees have to be gotten rid of. A lot more sun over here. Ooh, the pond is dirty. Of course, all the rain don't help that. Yeah, I think the dogwood's right there. And there's so much stuff growing up around it. I'm surprised it's not killed it. I gotta clean that out. And that cedar tree right there will come down because I want the dogwood to have more room. Got all kinds of wood cutting to do. There's always something. Always something has to be done. Can't really see through that mess right there. Let's see. Walk on up through here and then you can see it. Yeah, there's the neighbor's big 5-acre lake over there. You can see parts of it. I must say I have nice views around my property. Most of them. Most of them are nice. A bunch of old hay right there. I'm going to spread out in the low spots and then throw grass seed down on top of them. But I want the chickens out here because they'll help revitalize all of this. And there's more of the yard to that trailer lot. I could always clean this out and rent the lot. I'm just not sure if I want to do that though. I don't know if I want to do that or build me a new place there and take that old house and maybe turn it into a barn because, man, it's falling apart. Got a lot of renovation I got to do to it, too. It's a mess. But that's all right. I'll get it done. This would never have gotten this growed up, but I've been kindly off my feet for almost 4 years. Finally getting better. Finally getting better. I feel like doing stuff now. Getting out and cleaning on that dog lot last weekend was wonderful. I love being outside, which is one of the reasons I always wanted a little bit of land to grow food and have a few animals. And people like to use my property to throw trash out on. I don't know, you can see that is the neighbor's fence, I believe, right there. I'm not sure. It narrows out quite a bit going up here to the road. And as you can see, I have, like I said, lots of fence work I gotta get done. But I'm gonna concentrate on making smaller areas just to move the horses around to on right now. Okay. If you see that green line right there, that's my property line. And where all that grass is growed up right next to it is where the driveway was going into that trailer back there. So it's not a really big wide space. But I'm going to keep it that way to make it easier to get vehicles in and out up through there. Oh, yeah. How much time's on this video? Oh, it's only 4 minutes. Here we go. More fence work. I hope I'm not jiggling too much. I've got to get one of those selfie things so I can show me if you want to see me. I ain't nothing to look at, so I think my land's prettier to look at than I am, so we'll just let you look at it. It might be rough, but it can be pretty. It can be really pretty. Let's see. Walking down the front fence here at the road. There's the neighbor's lake over there. I love this hill coming down. It's speed limit down through here is supposed to be 20, but they want to come flying down this hill, which is another reason I want the horse fence all the way around this perimeter, so it'll keep my dogs, chickens, and everything in. Go around this. Well, that's got to be got out of there. People used to leave cedars in the fence line for fence posts, but then when the tree dies, it just rots. Just like those fence posts down there are doing. And every cedar fence post on this place has done. Another shot of the pond. You can see the house. And the elderberry tree. See the horses way up there. There's a bee on the clover. I want to put some more clover out. See the horses up there? They always stand up there and cool it during the hottest part of the day. And let me tell you, it's getting pretty warm. Pretty warm. Oh, I've enjoyed this walk. Of course, it ain't been a fast one. But I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed coming out here and walking around and letting you see the place. Letting you see Piney Haven. And so you can see what I got ahead of me on cleanup. It's going to be doing a lot of cleanup. But that's alright. That's alright. I'm going to get me some mater plants that's already started and get them in the ground. It's still not too late. You can look at my fence post up and down through there. Excuse me. When I put them in, they were a lot straighter. So, of course, the horses running and jumping and carrying on around them. Tar Baby, when he was here, knocked them all out of whack. So I'll have to level them all back up so I can run the hot wire on them. That's going to go out all the way up to that shed area. But up there where those two white T-posts are, from the first one up, that will no longer be pasture. That's going to be garden area. And maybe come out a little bit more. And out there, where that, you see that line, that's where that wet weather creek comes down. And it'll go down through the front and empty out here to the pond. And then the overflow goes out through a culvert up here at the front corner. But what I thought about doing before was putting fruit trees down close to that line so they would always stay plenty of water, but I don't want my fruit trees out in the pasture. So I'm going to put them over here on the other side of the driveway up here. Maybe. I'll have to check and see how much sun that area gets. I think it gets enough. Pretty sure it gets enough. But that way they're out of the way, but close to the house. There we go. Out of the way, but close to the house. That's the neighbor's place over there. We've got two older ladies that, well, one older lady and her elderly mother live there, and they're both disabled. They have to ride in those chairs. And they don't have a lot. So I'm hoping once I do get some stuff growing to eat, vegetables and stuff, I can have plenty to share with them. If they're still living there. I hope they are. The pond is quite muddy after all the storming last night. We'll get this corner over here. Uh-oh, I see something blowed over on the yard. What is that? It's pink. Pink and white. Don't know what that is. Another reason I want the horse fence, because it'll keep a lot of trash and stuff from going into the pond. Let's come up here and look at the pond. When I first bought this place, in January 2012. Oh man, there's something jumping in there. Something jumping in there. I'm going to have to come fishing. When I first bought the place in January 2012, I put bluegill, catfish, and minnows in there. Well, you can see something's hitting the top, and it could be just the minnows, I don't know. But I've never come down here and fished and tried to catch anything yet. I may have to do that 4th of July, and if I do that, I'll make a video of it. We'll see if I catch anything. Let's see if I can get... These banks on this pond are very, very, very steep. The pond doesn't look that big, but it is deep, really deep. And my gelding that I used to have, Tar Baby, he used to get out there and swim all in it. He loved the water. And I was so glad because I worked with him on that quite a bit. It's always good to be able to bathe your horses without them having a hissy fit. And him and my little red mare Misty, look at all them, I don't know what it is hitting the top of that water. It's not raining though, so it's minnows or fish or something in there. We'll see. We'll see. Coming up on the other side of the pond, I'm still seeing stuff jumping in there. I know there's a mud turtle in there. Yeah, we know there's a mud turtle in there for sure. And I'm sure there's more than one. And who knows, they may have eat all the big fish I had in there, but they will evidently not eat all the minnows because there's something jumping all in there. Especially back here. You can see it. Got these trees growing up in the pond. See, look at all that. Look at all that. What is that jumping in there, people? Is that just my minnows? Baby fish. I come down here one day and I could see baby fish. Now I know there's tadpoles in there too, because Claudia's little boy Jason saw them. Claudia and Jason will be going to the Stivers meetup in Kentucky with me on November the 2nd. That's going to be fun. They both enjoy stuff like I do. Now that's a mess up through there, but I see a lot of yellow dock that I can come out here and harvest. I forget what it's good for, but I've got loads of it. This is the yellow dock, I'm pretty sure, and I think that up there with the darker stems on it is curly dock. There's so many different types of it, and I've got loads of it. And that thing right there is coming down. I can probably get that with the loppers. If not, I'll get it with the saw. I think there's blackberries up here next to me. Watching where I'm walking, folks. I don't want to surprise a snake. Snakes don't bother me, but I'd rather see them first, if you know what I mean. Now, this area over here, little bitty grassy area, is where I thought about putting some shade trees. But that big old pine tree right there is going to come down, and probably those other trees up there. So it'll bring in more sun for them. I'll have to study the different fruit trees that are good in this area. I think I'm in zone 7B. But I'll have to check and see what's good for this area. And then see how much sun they need to have. And decide then what's going on with it. I thought there was, yeah, there's some blackberries. Oops, I found a hole, folks. Not a bad one, thank goodness. Yeah, there are some blackberries in there, but I think the birds have already got them all. I'm going to have to come back out and get some. And you can see the front of the house. And we've come all the way around the pasture, except going back up to the side there where we come out. I hope you enjoyed the tour, seeing my little piece of heaven. I love it here. Lots of work to do, but that's all right, because that work just keeps you young and keeps you going. You can't just sit down all the time or you'll never get back up. Don't matter if you got back problems, arthritis. I got all that. You just gotta ask God to help you with it and go on. You can't sit down and stop moving, because once you do, you get to where you can't move. I've got to climb steps every day when I go to work to go into my office. And I'll climb them every day, because as long as I climb them, I'll still be able to climb them. Looking a little bit more overcast out here. I think it's going to rain again. It's supposed to. So I'll be working inside. Mercy knows I need it. Mercy knows. And there's that smaller elderberry and the bigger elderberry on the corner. But I'm going to get off of here, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to put some more videos up as I work on the different things that I'm trying to get accomplished here. I'll let you see how a 55-year-old out-of-shape woman gets herself back in shape while she gets her home back in shape. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoyed today. Everybody have a blessed day. Hugs and prayers from Kelly and the critters at Piney Haven.